up on global business. In full swing, China issues new guidelines to further optimize the foreign investment environment, aiming to give full play to its market strength. More policy support. China's Commerce Ministry unveils an action plan to boost consumption in China's counties. And going west, we take you to the starting point of the ancient Silk Road in China's northwest to see how trade and investment have reshaped its growth path in our special series on the Belt and Road Initiative. This is good evening from Beijing and welcome to this edition of Global Business here on CGTN. I'm Lily Lu. We start our program with the latest news on the steps being taken by China to boost foreign trade investment in the country. At a press conference this afternoon in Beijing, officials from multiple ministries unveiled several measures and reiterated their commitments to further improve the business environment and attract more foreign capital. Our reporter Sun Tianyuan has more.
The State Council, or China's cabinet, issued 24 new guidelines on Sunday to optimize the business climate for foreign enterprises and investors. Authorities say the policy document shows China's determination to press ahead with reform and opening up with concrete measures.
We hope investors and foreign invested enterprises from various countries can fully feel that these measures demonstrate the Chinese government's unwavering determination to further opening up. We also hope they can fully enjoy the benefits brought by the implementation of policies achieving common development with the Chinese economy.
The Sunday document aims to attract more foreign capital while promoting equal rights and further protecting the interests of multinational corporations and investors. Chinese authorities also promise stronger fiscal supports and tax incentives. Despite downward pressure and global challenges, China remains a popular destination for foreign capital. In the first half of 2023, China had over 23,000 additional foreign enterprises, an increase of 35.7%. An official says foreign enterprises have maintained confidence in the Chinese market, especially in the high-tech manufacturing sector.
The actual use of foreign investment in high-tech manufacturing increased by 28.8% in the first half of this year. This indicates that foreign enterprises have sufficient confidence in investing in China. The great potential in China's manufacturing industry will also bring sustained profit opportunities for foreign enterprises.
Authorities say they will accelerate the implementation of the guidelines and continue to foster a better business environment for foreign investors and enterprises. Sun Tianyuan, CGTN, Beijing.
And now let's get some discussions on the latest measures unveiled by China to boost foreign investment. We're now joined by Mr. Jiang Gong, who is Vice President of Research and Strategy at the University of International Business and Economics, Israel. Jiang, always great to have you on the show, as always. So we're looking at these new guidelines being released today. What message do you think China is trying to send?
Certainly sends a strong message that China still very welcomes foreign direct investment. I think we're getting to a difficult time in terms of attracting foreign direct investment. The latest figures for the last few months haven't been very good. But the central government is still very determined to continue to attract foreign direct investment, or at least trying to retain or encourage the existing foreign direct investments to invest more here in China. I think this set of measures specifically mentions a few industries that could be potentially quite profitable for foreign companies. For example, the pharmaceutical industry appears to be a focus in this set of measures. Another industry that has been desired by foreign investors for quite some time is in the telecommunications sector. Particularly in value-added telecommunication services. I mean, these are fairly profitable industries, and I think using this measures probably attract some investment in these industries.
And also, John, the measures also included ways to encourage more foreign investors to establish R&D centers here in China and also to partake in some of the significant scientific research ventures. How does that contribute to China's drive for its domestic technological innovation?
Well, certainly it's very important. When it comes to technology investment, I think it's not such a good idea to differentiate between, innovations and R&D activities among, foreign companies and Chinese companies. They're all being done in China, so it's all welcome. I think this is particularly important in the context of the technology, high-tech decoupling or de-risking by the United States and some other European countries. I think today, these normal business-related activities are somehow hamstrung by political agendas, by national security concerns. But overall, I think China is a very attractive market. Many companies these days introduce their first new products onto the Chinese market, and certainly, it's doing some R&D work in China helps with that initiative. And I think in addition, China also remains to be an attractive place for doing R&D activities in terms of the availability of high talents and R&D research staff and other researchers. China's education system is fairly good in terms of cranking out high quality engineers, research scientists, people of that nature. So I think the very nature of the R&D job market, labor market in China, attracts foreign companies' activities in this area. So I think, in that regard, central government's initiative, state council's initiative to encourage these kind of activities certainly sends a very good signal. And I think hopefully this will happen indeed.
Well, great insights. Thank you very much. That's all the time we'll have for today. That's Mr. Jiang Gong from BIC Israel. Fostering an improved business environment has been a pivotal strategy for China in attracting foreign enterprises. And clearly, these endeavors are yielding positive outcomes as numerous Italian companies are now planning to introduce additional products and expand their footprint in the country. Lei Shuran has more.
Foreign pharmaceutical companies are among the leading firms raising their commitment to the China market. The Healthy China 2030 initiative, the country's long-term approach announced in 2016 to improve disease prevention and treatment, is nurturing more business opportunities for this Italian healthcare solution provider. Having been in China for more than 20 years, the company has just announced a new construction project at its industrial plant in Shanghai, which will allow it to build a more localized supply chain.
We still have some products which are produced in Europe completely, and they are then imported here. We maybe do only the repackaging here. We are going to change that. We are going to produce more in China to have a more localized supply chain with producers of ingredients that we will be recruiting in China. We will be able to use that plant not only for China, but also to support the expansion in other parts of the APEC area.
With highly concentrated supply chains and flourishing markets, China has long been a hot destination for Italian retailers as well. Many, including this Italian luxury car maker, are actively participating in China's industrial and sales exhibitions, saying more new products will be coming on the market soon.
We're launching these models in China because China has become the biggest electrification market in the world. By 2025, every segment we operate, we will have an electric version, and by 2030, we will be only electric.
Other well-known Italian retailers, including this coffee machine manufacturer, plan to increase their presence here through international exhibitions in China.
We have debuted some new products here, which are specific for Chinese consumers. We also hope to partner with more high-end goods makers through those exhibitions. We want to expand our business in China.
China has been Italy's largest trading partner in Asia for years. Official data show the trade value between China and Italy hit a new record last year with a year-on-year growth of 5.4% to nearly $78 billion. Lei Shuran, ICS for CGTN, Shanghai.
So how do those new guidelines benefit foreign businesses? Let's get some insights from Mr. Dario Guppi, who's CEO of GuppiTraders.com. Dario, great to have you on the show. So the new guidelines announced today mentioned building up a more comprehensive facilitation mechanism for the QFLP foreign exchange management. What sort of opportunities does this bring for foreign investors?
This is really important because it further opens the China market for easier capital flows, but also with reduction on foreign exchange risk. Managing exchange risk is the major factor in investment and business decisions, so anything that reduces this risk is very, very welcome. Also welcome is the increased level of standardisation of QFLPs at regional levels, because it makes it easier to operate on a China-wide basis. And of course, some of the changes to the work permit conditions are also very, very welcome.
And also, officials from China's Ministry of Commerce said today during the press conference that it aims to speed up and also work harder on shortening China's negative list for foreign investment. So which areas do you think would be most sought after by foreign businesses, and what are the main concerns of them operating here?
I think the most sought after are those associated with the expansion of the digital economy and the clean and green economy. China is more advanced in the digital economy than most of the West, so people want to know what's happening and how they can catch up. So that will include more research and development, R&D facilitation, developing high-end manufacturing using AI and quantum computing solutions, perhaps also in biomedicine as well. So there are many interesting areas, but the main concerns are the potential use of the United States executive orders and sanctions to prevent research and cooperation. For instance, investment in battery technology could be at risk if Biden decides to declare this as a dual-use technology and blocks investment using an executive order. However, on balance, this is an excellent development, but we have to expect that the US will try to block it in some way.
Great insights. Thank you so much for your time. That's Mr. Dario Guppi, CEO of GuppiTraders.com. Well, China will establish 500 commerce hubs at the county level by year 2025. That is under a new strategy aimed at bolstering growth in rural regions. And alongside the development of markets and logistics centers, the initiative will also support the digital transformation of small businesses within counties in enhancing their cost effectiveness. Moreover, policymakers are actively endorsing county-based business priorities to leverage live streaming e-commerce platforms to promote and market local specialities. Well, the comprehensive plan also addresses the enhancement of consumer spending with a commitment to widen county residents' access to new energy vehicles as well as smart appliances. Well, summer is the most popular period of the year for tourism in China, and a number of rural areas are growing in popularity. As the government continues to promote rural vitalization, the tourist sector in the countryside is benefiting. Xia Ruixue has more.
Heavy traffic, lengthy lines, and dense crowds are common over the summer months in Dutang, a village in central China's Hubei province. The unexpected popularity marks a stark contrast to the village's past. A decade ago, Dutang was a struggling community of around 1,400 inhabitants. The majority of the population had migrated elsewhere for work, leaving behind the elderly and untended farmlands.
I wanted to do something for my hometown, and thanks to our country's rural revitalization policies, I got the opportunity.
Ge had a vision, tapping into the village's cultural wealth to build a tourist magnet. In 2014, the village successfully attracted investment from multiple companies, enabling the development of its rural landscape. They first convinced local villagers to lease their old, unoccupied, and decaying houses and transform them into villas in traditional Chinese styles. By 2017, Dutang established a comprehensive rural tourism ecosystem, spanning leisure activities, culinary experiences, and lodging.
The village cooperative operates the industry, with all households as stakeholders. This collective effort allows every villager to prosper together.
Before the opening of the tourist attraction, I looked after my children at home.
Our family's income was solely dependent on my husband's earnings. But I'm now earning significantly more than him. Today, many villagers have returned to their hometown. Stretching across 4.7 square kilometers, the tourist destination boasts diverse attractions, from recreational pursuits and live performances to camping amenities and local cuisine. Visitors can enjoy the experience until the attraction's closure at 10:30 p.m., making it a popular choice for families in the post-pandemic period. At its busiest, Dutang welcomes over 40,000 visitors per day.
I got to know this tourist attraction on a social media platform. It's close to Wuhan. It's a good option to spend a weekend here.
China has identified the key role of tourism in stimulating domestic consumption. In late July, the nation announced a blueprint of 20 measures aimed at bolstering and broadening consumption. Among them, strategies promoting cultural engagement, fostering the growth of rural tourism, and strengthening financial backing for the sector. The demand for domestic traveling is rapidly increasing. There is huge potential for many villages with beautiful landscapes to develop rural tourism. This will present a good opportunity to revitalize rural areas and boost consumption at the same time. 夏瑞雪 CGTN 杜塘 Village, Hubei Province.
And we have more to come here on Global Business. We'll take you on a journey to the west, to the starting point of the Asian Silk Road, that is Dunhuang in China's northwest, to see how trade and investment have reshaped its growth path in our special series on the Belt and Road Initiative.
Climate change, economic uncertainty, and food insecurity. As the world faces multiple challenges, heads of state of BRICS nations and 55 African countries meet in South Africa with a common goal to promote multilateralism and sustainable development. CGTN will bring you in-depth reports and comprehensive analysis on one of the largest gatherings of developing countries. BRICS Summit 2023. Building an inclusive world.
Well, this year marks the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative. As part of our special series on the BRI, we focus on Dunhuang in China's Gansu province to see how investments have shaped economic ties between the starting point of the Asian Maritime Silk Road and BRI countries. During the first 6 months of this year, Gansu witnessed a notable surge of over 10% in trade activities with Belt and Road nations, with a cumulative trade value reached an impressive $2 billion, comprising nearly 60% of the province's entire foreign trade volume. Given its rich agricultural heritage, Gansu predominantly engages in the exchange of major goods like apples, beef, and mutton with other BRI countries. Capitalizing on its strategic geographical placement amidst BRI nations, Gansu has proactively fostered the expansion of its logistics sector. In 2022, Gansu facilitated 440 cross-border freight train journeys, transporting cargo valued at more than $290 million. And situated within Gansu province is Dunhuang. It occupies a strategic positioning along the historic Silk Road, serving as a pivotal point connecting the east and west. But the town preserves numerous tangible remnants of this significant trade route. Our reporter Zhu Zhu takes a journey to Yumen Press to delve deeper into the insights it holds.
We are now here at the Yumen Pass in Dunhuang, Gansu province. It was a crucial gateway connecting China and the western regions during ancient times. It has a history of over 2,000 years. Dating back to the Western Han Dynasty, Yumen Pass played a pivotal role in facilitating trade, cultural exchange, and interactions between the East and the West. Merchants, explorers, and travelers journeyed through this pass. They carried goods, knowledge, and culture, enriching both civilizations along the Silk Road. Products such as jade and horses were traded between locals and merchants who traveled from Central Asia. Therefore, it was also called the Jade Gate Pass. Some say the fort was used to guard a market area. It is now recognized as the best preserved and most complete UNESCO cultural property on the Silk Road. It recorded the traffic management system and the Great Wall defensive system of the Han Dynasty. It continues to serve as a tangible testament to the legacy of the Silk Road and cultural exchange between the East and the West.
Well, China's imports and exports along the Belt and Road saw nearly double-digit growth in the first half of the year, contributing to more than 30% of the overall imports and exports. To understand the innovative strategies that enable Chinese companies to expand their exports to these partner countries, our reporter Zhu Zhu again traveled to Dunhuang, which is a locale situated along the historic Silk Road, and engaged with various small and medium-sized enterprises to get more insights.
After going through an all-round disinfection, here we are at a red date producer in Dunhuang, Gansu province. Red dates in Dunhuang are famous for their big, plump size and it's really sweet. They are very welcomed in countries along the Belt and Road.
We exported over 1,600 tons of red dates to Vietnam this year, about 500 tons more compared last year.
However, exporting these red dates was not easy.
Before the Dunhuang Airport Customs was established, we had to ship our samples to Jiuquan in Gansu province for inspection, which is about 700 kilometers away. After that, we have to visit the capital city Lanzhou to obtain the export qualification.
After the local customs was set up in 2019, new ways have emerged to increase export efficiency.
They designed a new procedure and even came right to our factory to pick up the product samples for inspection. The inspection time was reduced from taking months to only several days.
The shorter the transportation time is, the fresher these red dates can be. So Mr. Hu told me that the customs has helped them greatly reduce the time of exporting products to those other foreign countries and also create an online inspection system for them. All these measures have helped them greatly increase the efficiency of goods clearance. Apart from red dates, grapes from Dunhuang are also popular in countries along the Belt and Road. Dunhuang's unique climate has made grapes here so special. It has very long hours of sunshine. Like during my trip here in Dunhuang, I found that the sky was still a bit bright even until 10 o'clock at night, and the sun rises at about 6:30 in the morning.
Plants need photosynthesis. Because the sun shines for a long time, the grapes taste sweeter and crispier.
Li Shihong runs a fruit company in Dunhuang. Nearly 80% of the grapes his company produced are exported to Belt and Road countries, mostly Southeast Asia. He didn't know how to export his products to foreign countries until recent years when local customs came to teach them.
From product export policy to which local and foreign companies to cooperate with, the local customs officials came and taught us the whole procedure. Our local small and medium-sized companies also work together more closely now.
Thanks to these efforts, more and more agricultural products from Dunhuang are going international. Data from local customs showed that in the first 10 months of last year, exports of local agricultural specialties such as red dates and grapes have increased nearly 60% compared with that in 2021. They were sold to 18 countries and regions. Zhu Zhu, CGTN, Dunhuang in Gansu province.
And recently, a global young leaders dialogue forum took place in Beijing. It gathered young representatives from diverse sectors on both national and international levels. Accompanying them were leading experts, scholars, and influential thought leaders. Well, the forum served as a platform for in-depth discussions concerning crucial global development matters with a distinct emphasis on China's digital economy. Our reporter Olivia He has more.
Today, when you call a cab, this is the movement. Back when we first came, this was the movement.
During the 2023 Global Young Leaders Dialogue, Josh Dominic, an American committed to public welfare initiatives in China, offered insights into the advancements within China's digital economy. Furthermore, numerous other young leaders akin to Josh expressed their affirmative encounters with the advantages stemming from China's progress in digital technology.
China's digital companies, its tech giants, they really are a driver of China's economic growth and a key job creator for young people. There are many, many lessons which can be drawn from there, which is, I think, one of the reasons many venture capitalists from all over the world, say the United States, are interested in investing in companies here and in taking these technologies and bringing them back to their own countries. In many ways, China is just 5 years ahead of the rest of the world.
New digital banks are being brought into play, and those transaction fees have been decreased substantially. So consumers are able, and businesses alike, are able to save actually a lot of money in terms of interacting and transacting with companies and people from different economies and countries.
For young people today, they've grown up with certain technologies, especially when you're talking about early 20s, mid-20s. People are already very familiar with these digital technologies and have accepted them as part of daily life. The whole paradigm has shifted. It's no longer about who's affecting whom. It's about this interaction between digital technology, digital economy, and young people.
By 2022, China's digital economy has attained an impressive magnitude of 50.2 trillion yuan, securing its position as the world's second largest in terms of overall value. An essential focal point of this conference revolves around strategizing how to proficiently leverage the strengths of the younger generation to accelerate the realization of the digital economy's untapped potential.
We know 21st century is the digital century. It's like the new energy for the world. So young people can learn from the digital and also can control the digital for the human being. So that's why under GLD program, under our annual forum, we offered a kind of platform for young people worldwide to contribute to their young power and empower them, to encourage them support the global digital economy innovation.
Youth from diverse corners of the world are energetically participating in the digital economy. Some are pursuing prospects within the robotic sectors to introduce Chinese brands to the international market, while others are crafting intelligent design platforms aimed at enhancing the accessibility and affordability of design processes. Olivia He, CGTN, Beijing.
And with that, I'm wrapping up this edition of Global Business here on CGTN. Thanks for being with us. I'm Lily Lu in Beijing. Till next time, bye for now.